Hola, amigos and amigas. Welcome to the very first episode of the Debt Free Latina podcast in 2025. And it's a new year, which means a fresh start and new opportunities to take over your finances. I'm your host, Maida, and I'm excited to dive into today's episode, which is New Year, New Budget. But first, I want to ask you, how many of you are feeling that fresh energy that comes with the new year? You know, that urge to set new goals, to hit reset, to make 2025 your year to hit your financial goals. Now, I'm not talking about a New Year's resolution that will fade by February. I'm talking about real, lasting changes that will help you build a solid foundation for the new year. If you're ready, let's dive into how to set a new budget and reflect on 2024 so that we can take actionable steps in 2025. I want to take a moment and reflect on 2024. Did you achieve the goals that you set? Maybe you paid off some debt or you saved for an emergency fund, and maybe you had a huge financial win, or maybe you just faced some challenges along the way. That's okay. It's going to be fine. We can borrón y cuenta nueva. The important thing is that you're here and that it's never, ever too late to start again. So let's take a quick minute to reflect on 3 things from last year. Number 1, what worked for you? What strategies helped you stay on track? Maybe you did do a budget. Maybe you use a budgeting app. Maybe you started meal planning. Maybe you made a change in your life, even though it was small, that you saw some progress. So pat yourself on the back. Good job. Number 2, I want you to think about what didn't work, because this is where you learn about your style and what you could change and what you can improve. So did you miss a financial goal? Perhaps you were too ambitious or you didn't have a system that was suited for your lifestyle. That's okay. Let's learn from it and move on. Number 3, what lessons did you learn? Every setback has a lesson. Maybe you've learned that tracking your spending each week is crucial, or that you need a better plan for saving for big purchases, like creating a sinking fund and being able to save regularly until you have enough for that big purchase. Let's take a moment. And if you're listening in the car, maybe you just take a few minutes and think about and reflect on these questions. Or if you have a minute, pause and jot down your reflections. Remember, this isn't about beating yourself up. It's about learning so that you can build success this year. All right. Now let's talk about 2025. Setting goals is crucial. Remember, half the battle is actually planning it. So if you sit and you plan, you're most likely to succeed. So setting goals is crucial. But we want to make sure they're realistic and they're achievable. Here are a few steps to set yourself up for this year. Number 1, sorry to tell you, you need to budget. So whether that's a spreadsheet, paper, pencil, or an app, you've got to budget. If you haven't already, I highly recommend you use the one that quickly you were like, oh yeah, that's the strategy I need to try. And it's okay to try a different strategy. It's totally fine. So make sure you find what works for you. It's all about knowing where your money is going so that you can make smarter choices. Number 2, I want you to categorize your spending. So break down your spending into the categories like housing, groceries, utilities, entertainment, savings, etc. This will give you a really clear picture on where are you overspending and where do you need to cut back. So as you reconcile, you can kind of see the patterns in your behavior and you can really start seeing like, okay, I tend to spend more here, or I tell myself I'm going to spend this much at the beginning of the month, but come the week 3, you have a very different, perspective, or something happened that changes. And once you start seeing that it's a pattern, then maybe you can plan for it. Number 3, I want you to set realistic savings goals. We all want to save. Girl, this is a battle for me every day. But setting a specific and achievable goal is key. Whether it's building an emergency fund, or you're saving for a vacation, or you're building towards paying off debt, having a number to work towards is what helps you stay motivated. Like if you know that by this date, I don't know, June of 2025, you're going to be done with a credit card, it's so nice to like have the end in mind. Like it drives us. Like it just does. So really seeing what the goal is most likely to, you'll most likely remember it when an unexpected thing comes your way. And then you can decide, is this more important or that goal, that initial goal? And most likely you're going to focus on the goal because it feels good to achieve that. Like unexpected things happen all the time, and sometimes you can't do anything about them, but you're most likely to think through your decision a little more when you have a goal set. Now, I want you to take a few minutes to think about 2025 and your financial goals. This is what is one thing you want to achieve this year? Is it getting out of debt? Is it growing your savings? Let's commit to making it happen. Now, it's your turn, amigas. I want to hear about your financial goal for 2025. What do you want to achieve this year? Whether it's paying off debt, saving for a vacation, or simply learning how to budget better, I want to see your goals. So, head over to Instagram and use the hashtag DebtFreeLatinaGoals to share your 2025 financial goal. I'll be reposting some of the amazing goals in my stories. So let's cheer each other throughout the year. Before we wrap up, don't forget to follow me on social media for more budgeting tips and financial inspiration throughout the year. But I'll be posting a reel with some budgeting tools that I love, and I'm going to share my financial goals on my stories. So here's something fun. I want to know, what is your number one financial resolution for 2025? We'll be creating a poll on Instagram, and I want to see what you're working towards. So make sure you participate. I'm at DebtFree.Latina. So go and follow me on Instagram. Okay, amiga, I hope that you're inspired to tackle your financial goals in 2025. Remember, this is your year to get financially free, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. So stay tuned for next week's episode, where we'll dive in deeper into actionable strategies for paying down your debt and growing your savings. So thank you for tuning in for the Debt Free Latina podcast. Let's go make 2025 the year we take control of our finances and make our dreams come true. Hasta la próxima. Nos vemos la próxima semana.